You've got to be offering something that the clients don't have internally and feels different and distinctive. And I think if you use the kind of nomenclature that clients use, you're moving closer to them, which I don't think is a good thing. Trying to articulate this idea that like you can't just get by doing what you're told anymore, because there's a big machine that's going to do it better and cheaper and never needs to sleep. And yeah, it might hallucinate and give people six fingers now and again, but like those problems will be ironed out. The second part of this is that I don't think as an industry we're going to be immune from the shifts towards influencers and creators. And that's one of the reasons like I've got over the cringe of posting on LinkedIn and post up there. Is like, if you look at what's happening in how consumers engage with media and like the amount of time people spent with influencer, creator, talent oriented produced content, I think that's going to come to our industry as well, marketing, advertising. And I think it's going to go beyond that. I think like Wisconsin dairy farmers are probably going to be watching videos of Hank, the dairy supply co's stuff. People having ideas and being able to share them out there. That actually becomes way more important than a job title or your position in a matrix or any of that stuff. I genuinely think this thing with, is the name Bazoma St. James and the Therabody, I think that is a watershed. Because like, this is someone who is a former CMO, now an influencer, brokering a relationship with themselves, Therabody, Jimmy Fallon to produce branded content, right? So that's just something where an advertising agency would be traditionally the people who broker and do the intermediary there, and they've just been cut out completely. We failed as an industry to like recognize the size and scale of those shifts. And like what happened is the creative agencies basically said, oh, that's the geek. Leave that to the geeks.
We're making films.
Yeah, we're making films. Leave the social to the geeks. But that's a hugely important part of the marketing mix that we basically said, oh, I'll deal with it. And now we're in a position 10, 15 years later where creative agencies are emailed media plans from the media agency with 600 formats on. No idea how to do it. And like, whose fault is that? It's the creative agency's fault for not understanding that this thing was going to be here 10 years ago. We can't afford to have another one of those as an industry, like we did with social and like we did with mobile and like we did with digital. You know, we need to be ahead of the curve and not scared of it.